Alright, what's up guys? It is your boy, Gussie Goose here, back with another video. And today I'm gonna talk about a time where this kid threatened me in soccer. He threatened to fight me. And probably shouldn't have done some things. But yeah. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So anyways, I was just chilling, right? I was just chilling in soccer, I guess this day I didn't really want to go because it was kind of cold out, so I was like, ugh. But I decided to go because I was like, you know what? Yeah, team needs me or whatever, so I gotta go. So, anyways, I'm just chilling in soccer, right? And if you don't know, I play defense. I'm like kind of cracked, like not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm kind of cracked. So. They put me on defense, and this kid, he's like 2/3 the size of me. And if you guys don't know, I'm like 4'10", maybe. Like I'm small. I'm like a small child. I'm a bajo niño. And so, anyways, I'm just trying to defend the goal like a defender does. And I hop in front of this kid who's about to wind up for a cranky shot. Because if you don't know, defenders guard the goal from incoming balls. And what that means is you have to jump in front of somebody. Well, like, not always, but like, I jump in front of people so they don't get the shot off, right? And so this idiot, such small brain, he's like, oh my god, man, just get out of my way. He's like, just get out of my way. And I'm like, why would I do that? And then he's like, because you're annoying me. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, does this kid not know the fundamentals of the game? Like, I get that he's offense, but, like, you still need to have a general basis of what the defense does. So I'm telling them that. I'm like, bruh, like, that's what I'm supposed to do. And he's like, get away from me, don't block me. And I'm like, the point of the game is to block you. And he's like, no, it isn't. And then I ask him, I'm like, then tell me what it is. And I just stop blocking him. Like, I just stand there. In the front of his face. And this kid, he's like, he starts to stutter. He's like, oh, well, I don't really know. Like, get away. So basically, he's telling me to get away, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get away until you actually tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. And at this point, he's getting kind of mad. He's getting kind of triggered. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to happen because I kind of want to see a little kid cry because, why not? So anyways, I'm just chilling. And he's like, if you don't back up, I am literally going to fight you. And I'm like, alright, but no, you won't. And he's like, is that a dare? Do you dare me to fight you? And I'm like, sure, kid. I'm like, sure. You're like half my size. I'll probably hit you back. And so this kid's like, oh, well, the ball's there, so I better get going. And he just does nothing, and I'm like, all right, mega wimp, all right, get away from me. So I just go like a little bit up court, right? And the kid gets the ball, and he tries to juke me, and I'm decent at like counter juking people. Like, if someone jukes me, I just like kind of like go their way, and I'm kind of fast. I can kind of make up for it, right? So this kid, he tries to do it, but he does like one of those things where he like fakes, goes to one side, but he actually secretly goes to the other. And if you watch the footwork, you can actually kind of like tell which way they're actually going. So I was like, alright, this kid's trying to fake me. So I step in front of the ball and take the ball, and he completely falls down. And he's like, alright, man, you initiated the fight. Let's do this. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And he's like, you heard me. You initiated this. Let's go. And he starts tripping me, right? Like, he's not even fighting me. He's just tripping me. So I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm fighting you. What do you mean? And I'm like, dude, you're not even fighting me. You're literally just tripping me. And he's like, you want to catch these hands? So I'm like, oh, sure, bet. I'll catch your puny frickin' baby arms. Like, sure. Probably snap them. then I'll probably have to pay your medical bills, but sure. So he just throws one at me, and I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Let's just dodge it. Like I don't want to do this, right? We're in soccer in the morning. It's cold, it's wet, and I'm not down. I'm not down for it. But you know, this kid goes again, and I'm like, all right, kid, go away. And he's like, what do you mean, bro? You scared? So then I'm like, all right, well, this kid literally just challenged me. He was like, you scared, bro? And I'm not scared, so what I do? Trip him. And he's like, oh my god, you tripped me. And I'm like, yeah. What do you want me to do? Throw a punch? Throw a punch and break your bone? And he's like, you can't break my bones. So I'm like, alright, buddy. So basically, he rushes at me because I have the ball. And he wants to get the ball away from me at all costs. Because he's annoying. So anyways, he goes up. And he's like one of those people who just like kicks for the ball. Like he doesn't like actually like push through it. He just like kicks at my feet. And I take this to my advantage. While he's kicking like a 3-year-old, I go and sweep the legs. I sweep the legs. And this kid is so mad. He is on the ground crying in the mud. It's just so funny, bro. It's just so funny. At this point, you know, I'm like, oh crap, wait, what if I actually just started something? So, you know, I want to get out of here as fast as I can. So I'm just like trudging through, right? And I have the ball now, and I'm like going up the field because I'm like kind of like ahead most people. Like if I was to pass someone, I'd be passing back, and I didn't really want to do that. And so a kid was challenging me, so I just trudged through him, right? And at this point, like I'm in goal range. So I shoot this goal. And from the sidelines, I hear, no, why'd you let that kid? Why'd you let him score the goal? And I'm like, I look over, and it's a small bajo niño. The small child. So I'm like, oh, come on, bruh. So anyways, I get pulled off. Actually, no, not yet. So I'm still on the field because, you know, I scored the goal. So they're like, oh, yeah, we might as well keep him in because, you know, what if he scores another? So I'm just vibing, right, on the field. And I'm defense, so I can't really score another goal, but you know, I just got a lucky one that time, right? And so I'm just going, and I'm like killing on defense. Like no one's getting past me, right? And they put this kid back in because they were doing like short shifts or whatever. So I go in, or no, he goes in, and I'm like, oh no, not this kid again. So he's like, you can get past my teammates, but you can't get past me. And this kid, he did the exact same thing as last time, trying to fake me in the exact same direction, and I take the ball from him. And at this point, kind of mad, right? He's an angry Nino. And so what do? I troll him a little bit. So I'm just like basically memeing on him. I literally said bruh like right after, and he's like, you don't do that. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you in the parking lot right after this game. And I'm like, no, you won't. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, your arms are literally 1/16 of my entire mass. You will feel like a fly to me. And he's like, no, I won't. I'm gonna fight you. And I'm like, bet, do it. And then I'm like, no, not right after. I have stuff to do after, because I actually have a life. And then I'm like, fight me right now. This kid was mad, right? So basically, I go up to him, and I'm like, bruh, do it. Silent. Everybody's just staring at me at this point. Me and this kid. And because he has the ball, and he's not, like, doing anything about it, everyone's just staring at us, like, at a halt. And their goalie is just picking grass at this point. So, I obviously use this to my advantage, and I kick the ball away from the kid. And we go back to the game. And at this point, people have formed like almost like this mini circle around us. So when I kicked it past them and just started running at pretty much the smallest kid on their team, the kid backed up. And the goalie, literally not paying attention, picking grass, like I said, he had no idea what was going on. And my foot kicked that ball right into their goal. Who had 2 goals that game? Yeah, the defender. Who had no goals that game? The puny Bajo Nino that was literally 3/4 of my entire size. So yeah, let that be a lesson. If you're like smaller than someone and you challenge them to a fight, actually fight them or do something. So it's not like the other person's bored or they just call you out because kind of bluffing. So yeah. With that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.